Welcome back to the Sherwood Urban Farm. In today's video we are going to do a summer garden tour. My name is Bridget and this is the Sherwood Urban Farm. So we'll start here with my maize, which is amazing. I'm so impressed with this. It's not sweet corn, it's proper maize. I'm going to make millie meal with it. The reason I'm so amazed with this maize is because it's growing right next to a big tree on that side, and then we've got the plum tree on this side. And also it only gets sunlight in the afternoon from about midday onwards. So it's not even getting as much sunlight as it should, but still it's grown beautifully. So I'm really chuffed with this. Obviously when I open it up, that's going to be the real test to see if they were all pollinated. We have been having a lot of wind, so I'm not always sure how that's going to pan out. Then on this side, this is a tall raised bed which I've made a couple of years ago for my one daughter. We've got butternut. There are no butternut on this plant. Lots of leaves, lots of male flowers. Yeah, lots of male flowers, no butternut. There was one, it shriveled up. It was about this big, so it can't be pollination. I think it's got to do with daylight or the actual sunlight and temperature. There's something to do with that. We've been having very strange weather. But anyways, what can you do? You can't control the weather, right? Here by the duck run, I have a gooseberry. This is the Cape gooseberry bush. There are two planted in this bed. And I mean, you can see how big it is. There are a number of berries developing here. I'm hoping to get them before the mouse birds do. I like to make a sweet chili chutney with them, like a gooseberry chutney. And then also I enjoy making jams with the gooseberries. I don't particularly like eating them, although they're very good for you, high in vitamin K and all of that. And then in the flower boxes, I have got carrots. They are doing amazing. The pepper plants are not doing so well. These are bell peppers. They're not great. I think I overwintered them. I thought this year I'm going to have beautiful yellow bell peppers. They had a lot of flowers and they fell off. Mouse birds got them. Yeah, I'm hoping for a second flush. Maybe I'll still get some peppers from them. In this bed I had grown potatoes, and then I left it for a while because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to plant in here, considering how much sunlight it gets and so on. But I eventually settled on putting in carrots. So I recently sowed carrot seeds in here, and I got my new method of digging like a trench and now planting into that, because I find the water will not seep in, it sort of almost runs off. But if it's in like a trench and I'm watering it, then the water goes down where the little trench is, and guaranteeing that at least there it's going to be wet most of the time. And also with all the wind we get, it seems that the higher bits of soil dry out faster than the lower bits. So that's my latest strategy. And then here's my orange tree. I have 4 oranges on here. I'm so pleased. It's really planted in the wrong position. I thought that this was the right position. It's going to get enough sun. But as the seasons change, I realized it's not actually, it gets morning sun, but not enough, I think, for a fruit tree. But here it is. It's got 4 oranges on it. So I'm hoping that at least we'll get to taste the orange from this tree. This is a navel orange. And I must also say, in the Eastern Cape, we are mainly sort of a citrus area. So I'm not always very happy with the stone fruits that I grow here. They don't always perform so well, but definitely think that the citrus, I mean, if I look at my lemon tree, it does great. And then I have a granadella growing up over the arch. The poor things, I've got 2 plants here, and normally they grow so fast, but the different animals have been getting in here and they keep chewing at the leaves. But this one, it seems it's now finally getting going, and hopefully by the end of summer it would have then covered this whole arch and it can stay there until next season, and then hopefully next season I'll have some fruit here. This bed was amazing in the beginning of summer. I had cucumbers in here. I harvested 39 cucumbers. There were probably about 4 or 5 plants. No, there wasn't even that many. no, maybe 4 plants, right? And then they just died. The plants just died. I mean, last season I had just kept them trellising round and round here, and they just kept going. They did those cucumbers, and then they were out of here. And I think they might have gotten like a downy mildew or something, but it was fast. Those plants just died. And these were volunteer tomatoes, and I left them. Normally I'll pull them out, but I thought that's fine because the tomatoes in the in-ground beds had gotten blight. First time I've ever had to deal with blight. So I thought, let me just leave it, at least I'll get some tomatoes. No. The weather has been so blight favorable that I have pulled out this whole bag of tomatoes from that bed. Here you can see is this beautiful tomato on this side, and another beautiful one. There it is. But on the other side, the blight has already started. So maybe what I'll do is, it's starting to blush. I might actually see if I can get it just a little bit orange even. Then I'll cut that part off and freeze it, and then I can at least still use it for making sauces. But this has been very disappointing. And then in this bed, I had on that side there was also loads of tomatoes. They were just trellising over, also volunteer tomatoes. These plum ones I'd never planted in my life before, but there they were. And wow, they just started dying back. It is so fast. This blight is so aggressive. Anyways, so I had to pull all of those out. Now I've got a space there, but that's great because I've got some seedlings that I want to plant and I didn't actually have place for. Now I have place for them. There's a cucumber in here, and then what I'm so happy with are cabbage, baby cabbage. I'm so pleased with them. I've already harvested 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. I've got one over there that's got a little bit sunburned, which I need to harvest. And then what else have I got in here? Oh, I've got okra. I've not ever been completely successful with growing okra. I only tried once last season, and I think we had 1 or 2, but it was all in amongst the leaves of butternut plants, so it wasn't getting enough sun. But yeah, they're looking amazing, and there's some flowers starting, so I'm pleased with that. In the middle of the bed I have peppers, and I thought I was growing, because I just saved seed, and I was sure that I saved the correct seed. Those sort of, what are they called? I don't know what they're called. They're sweet peppers, but they're those long shaped ones. And maybe they're just called sweet peppers. Anyways, these are looking like chili peppers, as if I need enough chili peppers. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You just need 1 chili pepper, and then that will flavor the next 6 dishes. Anyway, so here it is. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, but they're growing, they're doing well. Oh, and then these I bought as plugs from the local nursery. These are aubergines, eggplants. I haven't had this variety yet because I can see these stems are like a purple color. I'm not sure what they are. Normally we just get that black one, but I've already harvested some, and they're looking so healthy and they're looking so strong. So I'm so pleased. I mean, I'm not going to have a great tomato harvest this year, but at least I've got, even in that bed, I've got good strong eggplants. And on my last eggplants, they've even fruited right through winter. So I'm very pleased with that. Last year I also grew butternut in this bed, and I got kilograms and kilograms of butternut from this bed. It feels like it's going a bit slow this season. I'm not altogether sure, but I have only got 2 reasonably sized ones. Actually, last season what happened was I was able to hand pollinate loads of them, and then I got lots of little ones. So maybe that has got something to do with it, that if you have fewer then you'll get bigger, but then if you have more then you'll have smaller ones. It's possibly that, but also have lost a lot of little ones. I'm presuming it's because of the weather, because they weren't stung. As soon as I see one coming, then I would wrap the little baggie around it to prevent them from being stung, and that usually works. But then now sometimes they're not even pollinated yet, and then they're just shriveling up. But as far as I have red, it seems to be something to do with the temperatures. And like I said, our nighttime temperatures, I mean, we are sleeping not under blankets and duvets, but definitely the duvet. And normally this time of the year you're just so hot you just want a sheet. But yeah, so that's what's been happening here. I'm so pleased with this bed. It's also quite surprising to me because it gets a lot of shade. Past midday, then the sun, once it's sort of coming over that side, it will shine here. But these are just doing amazing. Look at the size of the leaves, probably because of not having that much sun, but it's producing fruit and it's looking great. I have got one in the in-ground bed which gets sun the whole day, and it is this little tiddly thing. This one, it's just amazing. And then in between I've got 2 okra plants as well, and they're actually doing better than those. I'm not sure. Maybe the sun is just very harsh now. I'm not sure. This is broccoli, and my daughter planted it, and then something ate it. And then it was just this little stick left, it's sort of, I think it was like a cutworm. So we put it in water, and then we rooted it. And here it is, and it's looking beautiful. So I'm quite pleased with that. Yeah, so I got the 2 raspberry plants, which I would like then to just trellis all the way around the bed. In this bed, I have 2 aubergine eggplants. Not doing as well as in that bed, but I've already harvested from here, and I have some cucumbers. I have to keep my eye on this though, because there's a melon and cucumbers plants in here, but that downy mildew just keeps wanting to creep in. So what I do for that is, as soon as I see a leaf that is starting to show signs, I pull it off, and then the rabbit eats it. So that's what I'm doing to try and prevent it just sort of overtaking the plant. And it seems to be working. The plants are doing all right, as long as I keep on that. And then I've also got granadillas. I think I would have had a lot more foliage of the granadilla here, but the rabbit likes to eat the growth tips of it, which is a bit annoying. So I'm hoping that it will get quite strong all the way around the top, and then it doesn't matter if he gets here and there the growth tips. So here in the main vegetable garden, it's been a bit disappointing. The sweet corn I grew here last year grew probably about this tall. This is what it has done. I struggled so to get the seeds to germinate because we were getting so much rain. Our drought is at least broken, so that's great. But I couldn't get the seeds to germinate. They were just rotting in the ground. So these were the only ones that did germinate, and I don't think I'm going to get like hardly any pollination, because the pollen is already gone from there, and I've got little ears forming, so it's not going to be great. The tomatoes have been showing signs of blight. I've been pulling off the leaves. I've read a bit about neem oil, so I have been spraying some neem. So far it's looking okay. I'm hoping that they'll pull through. The weather is just really just not conducive for tomatoes this season. And then I've got some purple baby cabbage here, which seems the snails have been getting one of them, but that's okay. And then behind me I have pepper dews. The pepper dews are doing very well. This is the second season. I left them in the ground and overwintered them, and they're doing really well. I'm very pleased with them. I just have to be on top of the game because the mouse birds are pleased with them too. So it's a competition as to who gets them first. At the moment I don't have much in this bed. I've only got carrots. I had sown some seeds. Actually, I sowed some sweet corn in here. They also never germinated. So they just seem to rot in here. We also have had a mouse or 2 in the garden, so I'm not sure if they have managed to dig them up. But yeah, so this has been a bit of a problem. In the in-ground beds have not been doing as well as they normally do. I still have Shermalia kale. This is from last season. I cut the one down and then it shoots out again along the sides. There's a little bit of aphid damage on that one. I have a butternut that is coming through. It struggled a bit, but now it's looking very strong. So I don't think I'm going to bother planting anything else. I'm just going to let the butternut go along there. There's also turmeric, which has come up again. It hasn't done amazingly. I planted last year, So it has now made 3 plants, but I had expected it to grow quite a lot taller. I think they need a lot of water. They're looking promising. That's all I can say about that. This morning I involuntarily harvested the first rack of bananas. The reason I say involuntary is that it actually just came crashing down. It was so heavy. We counted 280 bananas on that rack. So it's finally got to the point where they're starting to ripen, and I'm very pleased with. They taste lovely. They're very nice bananas. These are the Williams variety. And now we have the second rack on this side. It is much smaller. The bananas are a lot smaller than that one, and there's much less bananas. But I'm still pleased. I mean, bananas are 25 Rand a kilogram now. So I'm pleased that we're able to harvest our own organic bananas. And then I have, in this bed, I have a butternut plant. And then I've got some potatoes. And over here I have chili peppers, which were overwintered. They're doing very well. I mean, look at the size of that one, bigger than my hand. So I'm very pleased with what's growing in this bed. And then on this side I have a crate that I bought recently, and I filled it with the path. I just dug all the compost that had sort of matured in the path from the wood chips, and then I filled it with that. I don't like that hugel culture business, because what eventually happens is once that organic matter starts to break down, unless you've been able to fill it mostly with like logs that will last longer, it just sinks. The level sinks. You start getting these sinkholes, and your plants are falling down these holes. So I'm not in favor of that method at all. So that's why I used the paths, the wood chips, which had composted in the paths, and then I'm just going to fill in with new wood chips on the paths. And yeah, I've got 3 potato plants. One sort of got hit with a bit of blight. I took those leaves off. I'm hoping it will be fine. I have a cucumber plant, which is doing surprisingly better than the ones that were planted in ground at the same time from the same tray. And then what else have we got? Oh yes, I've got some butternuts on the side here, which I'm hoping will just sort of sprawl along the side, and I'll let them sort of go underneath the lemon tree. The reason I have this in here is because of the lemon tree. This lemon is just taking all the nutrients from underneath, so I can't really plant anything underneath there. So in this bed I have bush beans, and I have chives and cucumbers. And then along the sides I have in the containers I've got the strawberries, which have produced a lot of strawberries, and specifically considering that their leaves were quite small, but they're very nice. Not very big, not massive, but they were very nice. Nice little treat in the garden, And then I've allowed, this is the French marigold. No, it's not. It's just, no, it's marigold. So in this bed behind me I have sweet corn, and they should be much bigger. But I did some research, and because we're having so many overcast days, the plant is not able to photosynthesize like it should, so then it stunts the growth. I'm a little concerned because some of them have already started to tassel, and I have had where they've been small and they still produced little ears, so that should be fine. And then I've got underneath here is a butternut, which is already starting to flower. So it's going great. It's all along here. In this bed, this is maize, and I have a watermelon, but it's just one of those tiny ones. That's disappointing. I bought the plants from the local nursery, and I wasn't sure what variety it was. They're growing beautifully. I had 6 plants. I've only got 4 left. But no, actually no, I've got one that side as well. So I've got two watermelons at the moment, but they're these little round jobs. That's disappointing. And then I've got some carrots in here, and I have a sweet potato. And then there's still some of those tomatoes that managed to survive the outbreak of blight earlier on in the season. So I had to film this again because the audio distorted on my last clip. So here we are again. In this bed I have got kale. This one is amazing. I mean, the size of these leaves, and it's been going on for ages. And then I have sweet potato. Always have to have some flowers in the garden. And what else have I got? There's a pawpaw and pineapple. I've got 3 or 4 pineapples which have rooted, but that's still going to be very long before I get a pineapple from that. And then in the bed over here, this is where I have my tomato trellis. I have a variety of different tomatoes, and then underneath I have planted marigold. There are also beans, bush beans in that bed, but they are really struggling along. There's just some things that last year did so well, but this year they're not. It is what it is. And I have, I also actually have a watermelon in that bed, and there is a watermelon. And then in all the buckets I planted potatoes, but then only one potato actually came up. I think the others I watered too much and then they rotted, the seed potatoes. So I'll have to try that again. This bed is the tomato bed, and I'm so pleased with this bed. It's my daughter's bed, and these the variety of volunteer tomatoes, but she has also planted some romas, and they are looking amazing. She's got a few Witzer climbing beans. Looks like they got a bit of rust on them, not doing so well. And then her peppers are doing great. So we're at least going to have some bell peppers for a salad. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my garden tour, and if you did, then please like and subscribe and share with your friends. I hope you have a lovely day further, and I'll see you in the next video.